Thanks.
Hey,
Call order the Borough of Wayne meeting of council on March 18, 2024, 7:30 p.m. Pledge allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're entering the public comments section. Oh, okay, we'll do roll call. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Pabakis,
here.
Councilmember Opperman, Mayor Martin,
Here.
Council President Davis,
Here.
Councilmember Harbert,
Here.
Councilmember Russell, here, Councilmember Sherrider,
Here.
Councilmember DePaula.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve minutes from February 12, 2024 council workshop and February 19, 2024 council meeting.
So moved.
Second.
A motion, a second. Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Now we're going in the public comment section. Under Pennsylvania Sunshine Act, 65 PACS 710.1, public participation, the Borough of Wayne will provide an opportunity for residents and taxpayers of the borough to make public comments. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. State your name and address, please.
Yes, my name is Rihanna Gray. Address is 3418 Eisenhower Drive. And I do have something I would like to share, please, that I'm going to reference during this information. If I can just start here, and if you would take one and please pass it over. Sorry, I gave you my copy. Thank you.
I apologize. What was your name again for the record?
Rihanna Gray, that's spelled Rayuana. Last name is Gray with an A.
Thank you.
$34.18. Is that at the bottom of the hill or at the
Top.
top? Top.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like everybody has one. Is it okay if I get started? Okay, great. So I'm a homeowner at the top of Eisenhower Drive, the part that passes educational that leads to the cul-de-sac. I do have an image here just to kind of show. So every night and morning, I am challenged with trying to navigate through the pitch black darkness. There are no street lights on that part of Eisenhower. They were only put on the lower part of Eisenhower. Part of the background that I was told when we purchased our house was that one of the first houses that was built on the street, the guy didn't want street lights, and so it had never been revisited. And up until this time, unfortunately, he's now been deceased for years, but the street at the top remains not to have any street lights. And so it's a serious safety issue that needs to be addressed and does require immediate attention. Safety shouldn't be dependent on personal preference, but it should be something that is available to all. So some supporting references to share. The National Safety Council does suggest that poorly lit streets significantly increase the risk of accidents because there is a decrease in visibility. Also, 50% of all traffic deaths, despite nighttime being when people travel less, it actually has a high increase for injuries. 25% of travel happens, but there are a lot of deaths that occur at night. So the part of Eisenhower that doesn't have street lights is no exception to that. Visitors, residents, people, walking on the street, cars driving on the street, deserve adequate lighting and adequate visibility. So the petition that I bring to you today is to please extend street lights to the upper part of Eisenhower as well. Some of the issues that have been encountered, I'm a registered nurse, so I work varied hours. I'm actually late for my shift now. I needed to be here to share this with you all. But you know, I'm leaving sometimes it's early morning, sometimes it's late at night. And one time I came face to face with a raccoon at 5 a.m. when I was leaving. It was so dark, I hadn't seen it until it was already upon me. Luckily, it didn't appear to have rabies, but it could have been an attack. Another issue is I decided to order pizza instead of cooking dinner. The pizza delivery driver refused to get out of the vehicle because he said the street was too dark and he didn't feel comfortable navigating it, which I 100% understand because I wouldn't feel comfortable either. We have a lot of elderly people on our street and they deserve adequate lighting as they go to and from their home. My one neighbor has had a hip replacement, so she has a lot of different appointments, therapy, etc. Again, the lighting is an issue. Children on our street. I also have children who have to go to and from school. It is not safe for them to walk on the street. If you're familiar with the street, it also doesn't have sidewalks. So even walking on a sidewalk isn't an option. You're either gonna walk through people's lawns, grass, and rocks, or you're gonna walk along the curve of, the cul-de-sac. So that's another issue. These are just some examples that I am sharing. I do have images which I will go over, but the proposed solution, there is currently 6 telephone utility poles that are already existent on the street. Even adding 3 or 4 street lights would greatly improve visibility and safety for residents who have to come and go on that street. If you look at the last picture there, and I gave you guys also the original photos, just because sometimes, when you put them on the computer and you kind of alter it and copy and paste, it can get a little funky looking. But the first picture is the picture that I took, and it's the darkest one. This was taken at 8:30 at night, and you can see there are some lights. We do have some neighbors who are gracious enough to leave their lights on. Porch light still doesn't change the visibility of the roads. It's still pitch black like this. The next picture you're gonna see is with the white fence. This is where I turned on my porch light. And you can see in the distance, it's still extremely dark. It is very unsafe, and I'm please urging the council to address this.
Okay, we'll send police officers up and everything, and I'm sure we'll come up with some street lights because it shouldn't be that dark.
Okay,
I mean, if there's nothing up there, I don't know why there never was, but there should be.
okay.
You mentioned a petition. Did you have any signatures from your neighbors?
So I, honestly, my time is limited. I work, but I did have some neighbors that I was able to speak with. So the neighbors that I was able to speak with are 3405, 3416, 3417, and then I'm number 3418. So unfortunately, those are the only neighbors who I have been able to address, and they had extreme concerns as well.
Yeah, it just shouldn't be that.
That shouldn't be that
dark.
way. Thank you for bringing that to us.
Thank you very much, and I apologize I can't stay. I am late for my shift, so I have to go take care of people. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for coming down here. Is there anybody else? Mayor's report, Ida Martin.
Thank you, Mr. President. Police activity, February 2024. 12 arrests, 38 traffic citations issued, 10 vehicle accidents, 5 identity theft, 17 domestic-related incidents, 7 narcotics-related arrests, 47 total traffic stops, 7 shoplifting arrests, total reportable incidents 414. I also like to remind everyone that identity theft and scam season is on right now. Be cautious of releasing information over the phone. The IRS will never call you. We are seeing a rise in these types of phone scams and residents falling for them. So please be careful with any phone calls or letters in the mail. Thank you. That's my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mayor. Standing committee reports, Jason Russell.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Treasurer's report for the month ending February 29th, 2024. The beginning balance, the unrestricted total is $1,076,673.76. The restricted balance is $3,540,242.58 for a total of $4,616,916.34. Actual revenues, unrestricted, $268,863.70. Restricted, $202,579.63, for a total of $471,443.33. Actual expenditures, unrestricted, $398,505.49. Restricted, $79,377.91, for a total of $477,883.40. The fund balance, unrestricted, $947,031.97. Restricted, $3,663,444.30, for a balance of $4,610,476.27. Motion to accept the treasurer's report.
A motion on the floor, to have a second?
Second.
Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Motion approving the check register for the month of February, which includes electronic fund transfers and general fund checks in the following ranges: 210,961 to 211,080, totaling $398,505.49.
A motion on the floor, to have a second?
Second.
Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Motion authorizing the following interfund transfers for the month of February. Liquid fuels to the general fund, $9,472.34. Solid waste to the general fund, $67,681.97. Post-retirement to the general fund, $1,883.60. Total transfers, $79,037.91.
A motion on the floor, to have a second?
Second.
Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Motion to authorize the borough manager and other appropriate signatories to prepare and submit application materials to establish accounts with ACH capability with the Pennsylvania Local Government Investment Trust for the General Fund, Solid Waste Fund, and Post-Retirement Fund as recommended by the Finance Committee.
Have a motion on the floor, to have a second?
Second.
Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
That ends my report, Mr. Davis.
Thank you, Jason. Health, Environment, and Cable, Joel Harbert.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. I have a motion to authorize payment to Kevin Kane for wildlife control services in the amount of $800 for the month of January and $800 for the month of February.
A motion on the floor, to have a second?
Second.
Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
I have a motion to authorize payment to the Hideaway Kennels for animal control services in the amount of $300 for the month of January.
A motion on the floor, to have a second?
Second.
Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
And I have a motion to accept a donation of Universal Pet Microchip Scanner from Gray Paw Sanctuary to be installed in the lobby of the municipal building that would be available to the general public to assist in reuniting found pets with owners.
I have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Joelle.
May I please say something about this Gray Paw Sanctuary? That's going to be a great thing because they're not always available over the shelter. And when you're losing a pet, you can come down here, get the scanner, and find your pet rather than going through all the other nonsense. So this is really good. I'm so glad you accepted it. Thank you.
Parks and Rec, Julie isn't here. George, do you want to get that?
Sure, Chuck, thanks. I have a few announcements. White Oak Recreation Board is having their spring craft show this Saturday, the 23rd, at the White Oak Athletic Association from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. For more information, call Karen at 412-965-7909. The White Oak Borough and Recreation Board is holding their Easter egg hunt Saturday, March 30th at Heritage Hill Park. Ages 3 and under start at 10 a.m. Ages 4 to 7 start at 10:20 a.m. And ages 8 to 10 start at 10:40 a.m. And I'll just go right into the senior citizens, okay? For the rest of March, we have our chair yoga on Mondays and Wednesdays. Our coffee hour is this Thursday, the 21st at 9:30. Looking ahead to April, yoga again Mondays and Wednesdays. Our coffee hours on Thursdays at 9:30 on April the 4th and April the 18th. We are starting cardio drumming classes for 6 Tuesdays, starting on April 8th at 2 p.m. There is a fee involved, that is $50 for 6 classes. The registration forms are online on our social media page, and I believe they are also here in the office. Our monthly meeting in April 10th at 1 p.m. Our speaker is Joe Hoffman, and he will be talking about part 2 of his 3-part series, his 42 years as a law enforcement professional. And as I said earlier, we have trips scheduled every quarter plus this year. And I believe that's all I have.
Thank you, George. Laura, you have stuff for the Athletic Association here?
Yep. White Oak Athletic Association basketball championships were held on March 9th. There were quite a few people that came and participated, parents and board members that volunteered. I'd like to thank everybody that came. Also, for the past several weeks, for baseball and softball signups have been going on there. Those seasons will be starting on the week of April 20th. Also, they will be finalizing their cleanup date that is scheduled normally in the middle of next month. We'll be posting that. Actually, our next meeting is on March 25th at 8 p.m. at the Community Center, and we'll be going over the dates then. And that's all.
Thank you, Lori. Planning and zoning, Amanda DePaulis.
Thank you, President Davis. The department report for February 2024, just to give you some highlights, the following inspections were conducted: 8 occupancy inspections, 5 occupancy re-inspections, 3 complaint inspections, and 2 violation inspections. The following permits, certificates, or notices were issued: 4 certificates of occupancy, 1 temporary certificate of occupancy, 2 zoning permits, 1 sign permit, 2 permit applications were sent to CEA for review, 1 residential building permit was received back from CEA and processed, and 1 zoning change of use permit was issued. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Amanda. Public safety, Lori Schroeder.
Yes, thank you. Thanks, Chuck. I have a motion to approve a 1-year contract extension at the same rates as 2023 for this and that maintenance, for lawn vegetation services, for abandoned properties, and authorize the borough manager to executive and extension pending the solicitor's approval.
Got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Is that it, Laura?
Yep, that's it.
Thank you. Public Works, George Mambakis.
Thank you, Chuck. Highlights of last month: 800 man hours, 118 of which were spent on replacing catch basins. 108 hours on garbage control on Route 48 between McClintock Road and Lincoln Way. 90 hours spent on snow removal, 94 hours on repairing the benches at the pool and the park. And the entire report is available here at the offices during our regular hours of 9 to 4. And that concludes that report.
Thank you, George. I need a motion to accept the tax collector's reports and pay the commissions and fees due for February 2024.
So moved.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Question on a motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Engineers report. Mr. Roach.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. The Heritage Hill Park Playground project is moving along, as is the White Oak Athletic Association HVAC replacement project. And I recommend a motion to approve pay requests 2, 3, and 4 for that project. They are in the amounts of $29,119.50, $13,563, and $57,526.70. And that's all from my report.
Thank you. I need a motion to accept the engineers report.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Question on a motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Need a motion to approve pay request number 2 in the amount of $29,119.50 and pay request number 3 in the amount of $13,563 and pay request number 4 in the amount of $57,526.70 submitted by Reno Brothers, Inc. for the WOAA GED-TF and CEAP WOAA HVAC replacement project as reviewed and approved by the engineer and authorize the borough manager to sign the above listed request on the borough's behalf.
So moved.
Second.
You got a motion and a second. Question on a motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. I need a motion to table the motion here for authorize the engineers to repair boundary survey for the Educational Drive Storm Sewer project.
So moved.
Got a motion, to have a second?
Second.
Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is tabled. I also need a motion to table, motion to authorize the engineer to design and the permitting for small-scale MS4 stream bank stabilization projects in the borough.
So moved.
I got a-
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Question on a motion? That motion is, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is tabled also. Solicitor report, Ashley?
Thank you, Mr. Davis. No report tonight, but I do have a motion.
Need a motion to accept the solicitor's report and pay the fees due to Tucker Aaronsburg for attorneys for invoice 667277 dated March 15th, 2024, totaling $8,009.50.
So moved.
Can the motion have a second?
Second.
Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
I have a motion to authorize the solicitor to prepare a temporary easement and access agreement for the Educational Drive Storm Sewer project.
Need a motion to approve the authorization to the solicitor to prepare the easement and access agreement for the Educational Drive Storm Sewer project.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
And we have one resolution tonight. It's Resolution 2024-12, resolution of the Council of the Borough of White Oak, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, authorizing the appointment of First Commonwealth Bank as the official depository of the Borough of White Oak.
Need a motion to approve Resolution 2024-12. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Do we have any new business? Do we have any old business? We go announce April 8th, 2024, 6:45, council workshop meeting. April 15th, 2024, 6:45, council workshop meeting. 7:30, that same date is the council meeting. Have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
second.